everybody, it's the month of August, and so it's time for the August Gorjuss channel challenge. Um, this is the girl that I'm going to use today. She is a beautiful girl that I've had for almost like 2 years now. Brand new, have not used her, have been kind of scared actually building a scene, but now that I'm doing this, I am looking forward to it. So this traveler's notebook insert should be called the falling apart book because totally falling apart. So I'm just shoring it up now with some gesso. It's warped. It's really not good paper quality for what I do. So I promised myself to try to not keep it falling apart even more. So I'm totally scared of adding water and doing the things that I do. So what I did was I smooshed some of my oxides onto my acrylic pad on the side there, and I'm adding the oxide ink that way. But I really hate how it turns out. This is not how I like to play. I really like how I mix things around and add water and let things react on their own. So I'm trying it this way. I'm adding the pad to the paper, and I did a fine mist, and I'm using my brush here to try to mix, and once again it's just not that satisfactory to me. I really want to add lots of water which is what got me into this mess in the first place. Just adding too much water and destroying this book that's not supposed to take water. So I'm trying with my my fine mister, and I'm trying with my brush to move the paper, the ink around on the paper. And so here we go. I finally just decided to go ahead. I did add gesso. Hopefully that will help. And I am moving, and I love this. I really love this. This is how I like to play with ink and watercolors. It creates an effect that I couldn't make on my own. So I'm trying to be really careful. I'm definitely trying to dry in between. So fine mist, dry in between. And I do this thing where I chase the water around, and I really shouldn't do that. And see how here at the bottom the oxide is forming? So I blot that off just to keep, just to not keep that puddle in the paper and destroy my book. So what I'm doing here is I'm just adding color to this background. I finally decided to get the guts to do this galaxy scene. So here we go with the black soot. I've been waiting to get this black soot distress oxide so that I could create a galaxy scene. Now this looks horrendous. I'm like, what? My beautiful background, what have I done? But you gotta get the guts, you gotta have the courage, and just go with it, So here we go, and the mist really does do the trick. You need the mist, and so I'm moving the book around so that the droplets kind of flow, and as they flow, they get lighter. And I'm trying to create leave like the colored background in the middle, and I'm doing the black around the outside, and I'm also making sure that I mop up any excess water or ink so that it doesn't destroy my book. So in the areas where there's where it's too light, where it's too gray, where I've missed some of the ink, I'm going in there with just my sponging with the black soot distress oxide and just adding a little bit. So here is my gorgeous girl. I've got her there as a reference on the side there. I'm gonna skip through most of this, so this is just to show you that I'm using my Prima watercolors. I did decide to keep her hair dark. I did go with the brown instead of the black. In the stamp she is green, and I don't know, I just went for blue, and she kind of turned out like Alice in Wonderland, which is not a bad thing. And I just sat here and really enjoyed, I just really enjoy coloring in now that I kind of have been practicing for a while and doing my shading, and those stockings are the best. So yeah, adding shading around her dress in the areas where wherever there's valleys in clothes and hair, you put the dark, and wherever there's mountains, so on the noses and things that peak up, that's where the light will hit it, so you keep those areas light. So here we go, building my scene now. Applying gel medium, matte medium to the underside and then over on top to seal it. And I did notice that it smudged a little bit of my, where it's supposed to be crisp white on her stockings. It smudged the matte medium smudged the black watercolor over it, but it's okay, no big deal. I did cut a mask here of the stamp, and I'm about to do a whole lot of splattering, which will be my galaxy kind of stars kind of universe background. So the reason why I wanted to do this, I've been feeling a little bit down recently. We've just got some things going on with my little boy in school, and I've had lots of things happening at work. Work's been crazy busy, so we've just been go, go, go all this time, and I'm feeling like everybody wants a piece of me, and I just feel like I want to go away somewhere and just clear my head. And I thought, oh, how lucky is this girl sitting up in the galaxy, watching the Earth, and I can just imagine she's just sitting there in the quiet, and then everything down there is just disappearing. All the problems of the world, everything that's going on these days, all the hating on people, and the bullying that's happening at my son's school, and it's just too much. I just feel like I need to get away. So making this scene was beautiful for me. Just imagine getting away, and I can imagine how quiet it is up there, and just give you time to think and breathe and just find the love and find who we really are and accept each other for who we are, and not have to, be better than anybody else. I'm not sure. So anyway, so I've just cut a whole lot of stars and little hearts to add to my background here. I'm also going to use like a grid stamp to help just with the background, creating little grids, just more texture in the background, which always adds really nice elements. Here we go. I'm using Distress ink, and I like how this turned out. I love how it added to the background, and I'll show some close-ups towards the end of the video of how that turned out. I then, as the acrylic paint dried up, I noticed that it was a little bit, like too light, so I went in with my Nouveau drops, and just that's what I was doing there. Okay, so for the sentiment, with the stamp set, it comes with a whole lot of little things that I never actually used, so I was quite proud of myself. I stamped that was a little label, and on the inside there, the sentiment that comes with the stamp set says "On Top of the World," so I put that through Versamark, and then I did my in black ultra fine embossing powder, and I heat embossed that in the middle, and I was gonna layer it up there with one of the other stamps that came in the set. It's a nice like grid stamp. I really like that. And then I found this little arrow that was sitting on my desk, and it says "this way," and I went, yeah, this way, to go to the place where you can just sit in the galaxy and watch the people be stupid and just stay away from the stupid people. Or as Zane calls them, the class meanies. Yeah, this was a good chance to just sit and think, just be with my own thoughts, and nut it out, find out what you're made of, and how you want to be in the world. So these cute little characters, these little pigeons, I adore little pigeons. That movie Bolt was hilarious for me because those pigeons were so funny. Yeah, I cut them out and I put them up there on that label as if they were sitting there up on top of the world. I don't know how they would be breathing. There's no oxygen up there, but it's all fantasy in my head. And so yeah, with my black gel marker, I am just going around adding those extra details, hearts and stars and her eyes, everything gets just a little bit of extra love as you go over everything and acknowledge everything. And I just wrote the date there, so August 2017. Can't believe we're in August, my goodness. I then decided that maybe a little bit of black splatter would go good as well with the white splatter. So here we go, back in there with the black soot, and I'm tapping. And I actually should have covered the sentiment as well, because I did get ink splatters on the sentiment. But hey, cosmic dust and all that, let's call it that. So yeah, this is my spread for the month of August. Thank you so much for joining me. I am really enjoying this series and it's really pushing me. So here we go. This is what it looked like at the end. I really love how it turned out. There's the gorgeous girl with you can see the grid marks here. I love it, and the black splatter really does a good job. And yeah, here we go. This way to the place where you can relax.